This is an example of the concept discovered check. Discovered check is a way where you can attack in more than one place at once because the person that is defending is focused on putting their king out of check. So in this position, if you notice, this rook is facing this king, and it would be in the white king would be in check if this bishop were not placed on this square. So simply move the bishop and the king is in check. But now what you want to think about is how to make that bishop move to a square as effective as possible. Because basically it's like this bishop can run around for one square and do whatever it wants because white will be focused on defending the king. So in this position, there's two ways to win this queen for free. The first one is bishop to b2 check. And now that's how you would write down the move, bishop to b2 check. But it's check because of the rook. And now there's the king has to move. So the king will move, and then you capture the queen. So discovered check is effective because you can win parts of your opponent's army by using the time you get from discovered check. Another way to win the queen would be to move the bishop here. So that's why discovered check is an effective tactic because you can attack in more than one place at once with discovered check. Here I'm going to show another example of discovered check. In this position, white can use the tactic, discovered check, to win the game. Now, if we notice, this queen is eyeing this king, but the knight is blocked. So, if the knight weren't there, it would not be in check. If the knight were not there, the king would be in check. So, we want to use this knight to make as destructive a move as possible, because this knight has free reign for one move, because black will have to deal with getting their king out of check. So the best move in this position is knight to c6 check, and at the same time that the black king is in check, white is attacking the black queen. So this is an example of discovered check, and it's used in a way to win the game, because once you capture the queen, your army is going to be much more powerful, so you'll be able to win more easily. And remember, the queen is worth 9 points, the knight is worth 3 points. So now after this position, we do have to notice one thing, which is, okay, if they block with the bishop, we take the queen. Now if they block, now they can move their queen, and now this knight cannot capture here anymore, but the knight can still capture the queen. So this is an example of discovered check, winning the queen. In this position, white has another example of discovered check, and if we notice, this position can also serve as an example of the importance of castling, because as we notice, white has castled and black has not castled, and the rook is on the file that the king is on. All they have to do is move this bishop, and the king will be in check. So the discovered check, if you want to pause the video, now's the time to find the move. You want to find the bishop move that will be the most destructive as possible. Bishop to b5 check because of the rook. And now in this position, let's say the check will be blocked, then you capture the queen with the bishop, and white is winning. And notice one more thing. The bishop is worth 3, the queen is worth 9. And the rook is worth 5. So you might have thought the move was this move, bishop to f3 check. But actually this move is not as good, because if bishop f3 check were played, the queen would go to e6, and now you'd still win the queen and you'd still be winning, true, but you would have traded a rook, which is worth 5 points, for the queen, which is worth 9 points. In this position, bishop to b5 check, the queen is not allowed to sacrifice itself for the rook because the bishop has pinned the queen to the king. And if you haven't seen the pin lecture, that's one of the most basic tactics, so you should definitely watch that next.